According to a recent NAR study, 82% of sellers were contacted by only one agent before finding the right agent to work with to sell their property. 89% listed their homes on a local MLS. 76% reported that they provided agent compensation, with only 7% for sell by owners. With these numbers, we see so much opportunity for you to help your seller sell.
And we want you to be effective in working with sellers. In this short training, you will learn how to obtain signatures quickly and at your desired rate. Instead of just showing up to your appointment unprepared, what we will do is share what works for us after thousands of seller meetings.
We want you to secure a higher percentage of listing contracts. So remember, if we help increase your listing opportunities, you will earn additional income with no more time spent. What will make us really happy is to give you the confidence to convince your seller that you are the #1 agent to solve their problem.
We have an attachment outlining the step-by-step process and a unique calendar close. A very tough goal for new agents, though, is to ask enough questions before the meeting so that you can secure the listing at that first meeting. The seller's answers to your questions will allow you to identify their needs and allow you to prepare a personalized market proposal and a solid pricing plan. We will go over the questions and objections in another meeting.
Unlike working with buyers, you will invest more time and money upfront in your preparation. On average, I spend about 4 to 5 hours in preparation of my appointment with the seller. I'll need to obtain a property profile, the last vesting deed, legal description, plat map, market demographics, and the market stats.
Your presentation method will dictate the location. While having a table between you and the client is quite common, it is also a barrier, so you need to read the client's body language and ideally find a location so you are sitting next to the client. Be sure to keep the presentation short because the longer it gets, the worse it gets.
Clients' minds begin to wander, agents begin to promise more, your pay percentage tends to fall, the listing price tends to increase. So the outcome will be a longer marketing, less profit, and what you don't want is a potential expired listing.
Also be sure to focus on the primary issue and use the short presentation. Don't give the work to the seller in terms of pricing unless you get that signed listing agreement.
Don't let the distractions get in the way of your focus. You have studied and planned for this appointment, and a lot of sellers will ask a lot of questions that are out of your flow. So what are you going to do? One option is to tell the client that you will get to that later, and the other option is to go to that section in your presentation, answer it, and then resume.
Don't give too much advice or create issues when there are no issues. Only speaking to one person or one decision maker is a very bad idea. And also be sure that you ask clarifying questions and truly listen to the seller.
One temptation that you might have in a presentation is to read directly to the client. Don't. Study the material ahead of time. Talk to the material without looking at it.
Another thing we've seen, Candace, is not closing with the paperwork. Showing up with the paperwork already filled in and just having it there on the table.
Okay, so let's go. Show up early, drive by the nearby streets, and really take the time to evaluate the property.
When you get to the property, take notes and add those notes to the list of features and improvements. Now what we're going to do, Candace and I are going to go through a brief role play of how to do a listing presentation properly. Okay, Candace, so I just have 3 questions that I wanted to ask you before we get started.
Okay.
Do you absolutely have to sell your home?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Will you price your home to sell, or do you want to keep it on the market into next year?
I don't want to keep it in the market till next year.
I didn't think so. And do you want me to handle the sale for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I did go ahead and prepare all the documents here, and let's just go over that real quick.
Okay.
This allows me to represent you on your behalf, right here with the agency, but my name is there. I went ahead and put in, per our discussion on the phone, the listing date would be next week.
Wow.
I know.
It's getting real.
I have a market calendar, so don't stress about that. I've got everything lined up for you. And then I went ahead and filled in the compensation that we discussed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next piece would be the multiple listing service and all the websites. So we're going to go ahead and do all of that for you. And put the key box on. I brought the key box with me today so we can get it all programmed. all the included items that we talked about as we walked through the property, and I made notes about what's included, what's not included, and we talked about the terms being acceptable to you and to your family. We are not going to put your information on all, like your phone number and all of that.
Right.
We want to make it secure on that. Just need your okay on this one. We will do the disclosures, and I'll come back and pick up the disclosures when I do the photography.
Okay.
So we're going to engage with contractors. This gives us the right to do that. Just need your okay here. And then the last page would be right here. Full signature that you are the seller of this property.
Wonderful.
Okay. Now, the next thing I wanted to ask, and my clients always love it when I give them a choice, is would you like to go over the market proposal that I have prepared, or would you like to go over the pricing?
I'm just really more concerned about the price. I'm pretty familiar with the market and seeing what's happening and some of the changes, so thank you.
So you know how I work, because we worked together before, but I laid out our market proposal and I put it on a nice calendar, and I provided all kinds of information about the marketing that we do. But let's go over the pricing, just like you wanted me to start with that. Took me a few hours. I know, it takes a lot of time to put all of this together, but we don't want to get the price wrong.
Okay.
We want to make sure the price is set right from the very beginning.
Right.
And we don't want to overprice or underprice. We want to price it right. We have 3 solds, 1 pending and 1 active.
Okay.
And right now that's all we've seen in the marketplace so far. You're the purple house, and then we'll go over the comparable properties. So this house, I just have a couple questions as we go through it. What do you notice about this property?
No updates.
Right, absolutely. But it's the same house, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. In fact, it's right down the street from yours.
Awesome.
It sold very quickly, relatively, in this marketplace, 13 days. We're looking at more time on the market for you. And as you can see, we had adjust for square footage, the bathrooms, the overall condition. And so that puts you at about 771.
Okay.
This is why it's important not to use the online calculator.
Right.
Because, if you would have used the online calculator, it would be like 750, and you'd think you're getting a great deal.
And that's
not the case. We want to make sure that we properly evaluate your home.
I appreciate that.
The next property, 780. It also is a 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath, so we had to do an adjustment for that.
Okay.
But I want you to look at the pictures and tell me what you see about this property.
Well, they also updated the kitchen, and they also have the floors that I have done.
Right. And the lot size was also, very similar to yours as well. So that's brought you to 786.
Nice. We're going up.
I know. I thought you'd like it. And then the last comparable of the solds that are out there was a 3 bedroom, 1.75 bath. Notice the days on market were 19 days.
Okay.
So it is increasing in our area.
Okay.
So you can kind of see with the solds that we're $799, down to $775, kind of in that range. So when we're talking about price, what price would you want to go in at?
I was thinking right in the middle.
We could certainly go that route.
Okay.
I wanted to bring my calculator, so let's just plug in some numbers. I went ahead with 775.
Okay.
Just like worst case scenario, right? Because I think you can go up to probably as high as 8, but worst case 775 at this point. Loan balance?
350.
Okay, wonderful. And then I put in the taxes, the broker compensation, right, all of that, so that we're looking at a true net
Right.
for you. And let me show you how that looks.
It's like more than I expected.
Wonderful. That's what we want to do. We want to work on worst case scenario. So that's what I would propose that we do, is look at the middle ground, but just be prepared that if we need to do a price reduction or adjust based on the market, we have that play.
Awesome.
So we'll go ahead and start with that kind of mindset. I'll build all the marketing around that. And then right before we go on the market, I'll go through it with you one more time just to make sure we didn't miss anything on the properties.
Wow, great.
Okay.
Well, thank you for all your preparation, Rochelle.
You are so welcome. I look forward to working with you. To summarize, be sure to tolerate brief moments of silence, pause for effect, and never get defensive.
Always be closing. No pressure. Use positive, assumptive statements throughout the presentation, or trial closes throughout the appointment. That also works. Happy selling!